Okay, so we're at the garden centre and we're going to try and find some supplies to stop these slugs because they're really getting on my wick. Brewdog, if you're watching, sponsor the video. Brewdog, liked by humans, loved by slugs. Oh no. Oh no. Over the night, there's more holes in the tomato leaves. Amy's livid, obviously. Look at this. There's a fly on it as well. That's not good. How can we sort that? How to stop slugs from getting to tomato plants.
According to Gardener's World, create a slug-free zone. Place fabric or mesh at the base of your pots before filling them with compost, so that slugs can't gain entry from underneath them. Delay planting out seedlings until they have reached a decent size. They are more likely to withstand slug damage.
So it says on here that we can use salt, we could use slug pellets, but I don't want it to rain and then the slug pellet chemicals to go into the soil. So the other option could be... Wait, what's this one? Amy, we're going to the shop. Okay, so we're at the garden centre and we're going to try and find some supplies to stop these slugs because they're really getting on my wick. Here we go. If you remember from the last episode, I checked out my strawberries and I put the mesh bags on the fruits, but all these leaves seem green, but they are in shelter. Although when we come down to these ones that have the fruit on and the flowers, you'll notice there is some brown spots on the leaves. So I'm wondering if it's when they get the fruit that they start going brown, maybe. What do we reckon? It sounds plausible, but I'm not sure. Oh, these are quite sweet. Wait a minute. This is the exact thing we're trying to get rid of. We don't want to bring them in by getting their little friends in. Well, there they are, very sweet. Now let's walk away. So we've got the wool pellets. I don't know what that means. Wool pellets. Highly effective natural barrier against slugs and snails. Okay, so what do they actually do? Long-lasting, wildlife-friendly and releases organic plant feed. Oh, well, they sound okay. Don't they? But how good are they going to be? But then you've got the slug tape, which is going to... Oh, hello.
This one is serrated.
What does that mean?
I don't know, so it's prickly, non-prickly.
Oh, I see, yeah, so it's got a jagged edge on that one, but this one's just normal. I would say this one.
This one? And it's protection from snails.
Yeah, but surely snails are exactly the same as slugs. Are they not? Just with a shell? Is that me being just naive? I thought a snail was just a slug with a house on the back. So I've gone and picked up some canes because you need canes to grow some peas. Is this too much? Is this too much for one little garden? I hope not, because I've seen some peas and I'm going to go for it. I don't care. So this is the variety I'm going to go for. This is the boogie peas. Have a little boogie. And we can do this anytime through the summer, which is fantastic. And the latest it's going to grow till is October, which is absolutely fine. Germination is 7 to 10 days. And the plant height is 75 centimetres, but that should be okay once we have the canes. That's fine. And what we'll try and do is once it's growing, we'll try and put it in the greenhouse and see if we can put it next to the tomato growing in there. So we've just stopped for a bit of lunch in the cafe next to the garden centre, and it's just occurred to me that we can do something a little extra than the copper tape. So we're going to head to the supermarket now and get something a little bit different for the slugs and the snails. Hopefully it will keep them tamed. but it's not what you would expect. And I'm hoping the internet is right on this one because it's a little bit odd. So as you can see, we've made it home, which is fantastic, as always. Always a safe car journey, clunk click with every trip and all that. So what I've come to learn is that slugs dislike beer. Now, this looks like something that someone's just made up. It looks like one of those old wives' tale, but some people are having success with it. So what I've gone out and done, I've only got one set of hands, hang on. So I hope you can hear me because I've attached the microphone and it's never as clear when I attach it to the t-shirt. Anyway, I've picked up this, which is Brewdog's very own Punk IPA. Now, some people would say, is that a beer? Because it's IPA. And is that closer to lager? Well, actually, it says on here that it's United We Stand for Better Beer. So yes, it is beer. I don't actually drink beer myself, I prefer cider, so I wasn't sure which one to go for, but as a company, Brewdog seemed to be the best company that I have always looked to as the best beer, especially a craft beer. So this will be my first time tasting Brewdog myself, but this is mainly for the slugs. Can you imagine if Brewdog sponsored this video because I've used it to try and deter slugs? Brewdog, if you're watching, you know, sponsor the video. So let's go out into the garden and see what we're working with here. Brewdog beer, clearly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out into the garden and we're going to put out some little trays and then fill them with beer to hopefully catch the snails and the slugs that are after the tomato plants. And also we've got some copper wire, not copper wire, what is it? Copper tape. We've got some copper tape to also go around the bag of the tomatoes to basically prevent them from climbing up and eating the leaves. So they have a nice beer and then they go for a nice salad. So that's what we're trying to stop. Amy was a little bit annoyed that I bought Brewdog beer for the slugs. She said that next I'll be putting out a Wagyu steak and they'll be after the potatoes in the greenhouse to have some chips alongside it. I mean, I kind of see her point, but it's to try and deter them away. That's what it's all about. How do you use beer to get rid of snails?
According to WikiHow, make a snail and slug beer trap by pouring beer into 4 plastic cups. Bury the cups around the perimeter of your garden, leaving the rim out of the soil. Cut the top off of a plastic bottle, invert it, and stick it back in the bottle. Fill the trap with beer and plant it in your garden to kill slugs and snails.
Okay, well that's going to be a little bit difficult because we haven't got anywhere to bury them. Because we've only got hard standing patio. So that's not going to work. Brewdog, liked by humans, loved by slugs. The slugs are going to be off their tits. 5.4%. Jesus. That's a good beer. That's a good craft beer, that is. I'm genuinely trying to get Brewdog on side. Can you imagine? A little picture there. Slugs in a pot. Although that actually states that it's more myth than reality. But when I looked at some articles from the following year, last year, lots of people had success by putting out some beer. Not Brewdog, just general cheap stuff. The Brewdog's definitely going to attract more slugs, if anything, because they're going to love it so much. Actually, that's the opposite of what we want. Maybe I shouldn't use Brewdog because it's so good. I'm desperately trying to get a free trip to Brewdog's facilities. Can you imagine? Anyway, so I reckon we'll go out and put these in some little saucers and see what we can deter from the garden, because they're getting a big problem at the moment and they're going to eat all of our crop, and I'm a bit worried that because now I've done lettuce, they're going to climb up the pot and go into the lettuce, because we had that problem last year. We did try lettuce last year, but we had a massive issue with slugs, so hopefully that's going to deter them away from the lettuce as well as the tomatoes. God, there's so many pests. The best way to deal with them is to get them all drunk. So let's go. Here we go then. So I've got my 3 dishes that I'm going to use. I've got the Brewdog, good to go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot them around the garden and hopefully catch all of the slugs and get them drunk. And snails, let's not be biased here. Here we go, my first ever Brewdog. Again, like I said, I don't drink beer very much. I'm more of a cider man myself, but we're going to give it a go. The slugs are so lucky round here. Oh, that is a solid can. I'm going to give it a swig, just to see what I'm giving the slugs. That's actually really nice. I tell you what, genuinely, I hate beer and I dislike lager massively. But that's really nice. I think I'm a fan. I hope the slugs are as well. So we'll just tip some into the little trays. Just like this. Oh, it seems a waste now. I can see why Amy was annoyed at me. Right, that should be plenty in those. And what this is going to do, this is going to give the aroma that they're going to be attracted to, and then they'll go towards this, hopefully get drunk, or they might even, God rest their souls, drown, and it will deter them away from eating anything else in the garden, which is exactly why we're doing it. I do. That is the best beer I've ever tasted. I know it's the Slugs, but I'm actually genuinely thinking about getting some of this for myself. Here we go, we're going to put this out by the tomato plants. Oh god. Right, so I reckon one there. Will that be alright, do you reckon? So if we pop one there, one over here. Try not to spill any. I've actually filled these trays quite high. Pop one just on this corner. So again, it covers any slug motion going on around here, because that's what we want to avoid. As you can see, the tomatoes are actually doing really well, but unfortunately, if Amy comes in with the camera, you can see the massive holes that they've taken out already of the leaves, which is really unfortunate. So I'm hoping this is going to do something. Might even go a little bit further up and pop it up here. And there we have it, 3 little trays of Brewdog. Please sponsor the video. So there we have it. Thanks for watching. Let's see what we get in the next video. If there's any movement or any interactions with the slugs or snails, and they do love the beer, I'll let everyone know in the next video, where I'll be basically doing an update on all sorts of things in the garden. So thanks for watching, and hopefully see you soon. Like and subscribe. Cheers. It has just been raining, but no word of a lie. Look at this. Snails and slugs already feasting on the Brewdog. Just loving it.